reality. We call it the UFO secret space. But some people were talking about the payloads we were taking up with NASA. You can find those on dark docs now. They're showing what we were taking up or during 85 and Star Wars and all that. But Tommy and I have a love. I don't know what else to call it, a like. I guess we like each other. We call each other and check on each other. I think he has some type of psychic ability because Janet, our third party, I did. I asked him to have a power of 3 with me off of Charmed was the show I was thinking. Then I watched Supernatural. But Tommy, there's something we created for the Ascension Age, but I was creating it for what we're doing today. Janet was creating it for Stargate to the Cosmos, and you had the ability that you had wanted to have a UFO show, I believe, right? Was that your understanding?
That was the original thing, yeah. That was the original, yes.
Take just 3 to 5 minutes because you talk you're really good at keeping things going on a thread. But just talk about how it is. You said we possibly have met in the past. And my thing with Alex Collier in Andromeda, he talks about the Patal, and I have no knowledge of that. So even though we may feel like we know a human from just visual seeing or feeling them, I've never met Alex Collier either, but it's the same thing with Tommy. But it feels real. And he talked about Andromeda like I did. Now, I've never met the man, and I didn't know his story. So only Tommy and Dirk Vanderblog were in some kind of – explain these people that you guys are. Were y'all in a small UFO community back in the 80s? But tell me about all that, please.
All right. I want to go over everything you said. It's going to change. It's going to change what we were talking about. But people, we're going to stop it probably at that point, and we'll continue next week with that. But I want to go into these topics right now, starting from the beginning of what TJ said to now. Just want to say there's over 2,000 religions on this planet right now. And she kind of said that it's like we should learn to be more or less biased. Well, the problem is when you split something apart, doesn't make it better. It usually takes away from the whole. All right. When a religion splits and makes 3 more religions, it's separating from the facts that it had and adding their own personality, character into it. So when we say religions, and I hate to say this, religions will never unite.
Do you think we're a movement? Because you were asking me about when I started the Ascension Center. But remember, I told you about Tony Stubbs, and he worked with Miss Carol Flowers out of Arizona, and she helped him with his book. And she helped Michael Sala, Dr. Sala, with his book. And then she helped me with, she was really busy, but we became friends through the Arizona hypnosis. And she was one of my first directors of ACO back in the day, back in the beginning, with the president of the hypnosis group. But, you know, my point is we're still here, and it's like a movement. Carla Ruckert came along in 1978 with the University of Kentucky, and then David went and lived with her for a couple of years. But we're all on this ascension word. But back when I first got told, Tommy, before we had the internet, and I was asking for the internet because I already knew about it, because I worked in space with this technology. And I was real embarrassed because when the microwaves came out, I would talk to the microwave. I guess now you can. But it's been very hard for me to adjust, Tommy, to being who I am in different realities in one human body. Does that make sense to you? I'm sure you've had that because you've transitioned from, you know, Buddhist, Eckhart, being dead to being alive to being in the
here's the thing.
But it's still love. I still call it love. I'll mute.
Well, soul moves in different directions. All right. When you say multiple or different realities we're living in at the same time, I shift out of one, let go of that one, and move into the next one. Some people stay within the 2 or the 3, whatever realities they're living in. But for me, I went from one to the other. When I was young, I went through 14 religions and found that none of them offered any truth about God. And that's what made me move into the next one. I found one that taught me how to leave the body, and that's important. So I stayed there for a long period of time. But when it came down to the foundation of of their person being God, then it was no longer what I wanted to hear anymore. All right. So when we move, you can hang on to that. But see, here's something that I have to explain for myself. I only want to put things or deal with or teach what's going to help a person from where they are now to move forward into what they truly are as soul. Not to understand reality, understand other people, understand space, aliens, or anything else. They're all coming here for a reason. And it's two reasons why they come. One is for food, but the other one is for awareness. But they're not going to get either the way they're doing it. You can't take a person's sperm and create a soul and then expect to understand what our soul is. But getting back to the point when you said, okay, like even the Democrats and the Republicans, two forces are battling each other when it's about what it should be the same thing, helping people work together, which we're not doing. But now what I wanted to throw in, which is this is the bad part of it all, and I have to put it in because basically when religions split and they become different, I mean, Protestants came from the Catholic religion and split away, and they let go of certain things. I mean, Catholics kept Jesus on the cross. Christianity, Protestants took Jesus off the cross. The Catholics kept Mary Magdalene as a superior being. The Protestant religion doesn't recognize her as that. So religions take away, and the more it separates, the more it lets go of its original hold and path. So for me, if people understand other religions, they'll understand why they won't be part of that religion, not accept that religion. When a religion says it's okay to beat your wives, do you want to accept that? That's their religion. So I wouldn't want to move to that direction, and I won't. I feel that we have to move closer to God no matter what the scenario is, under your own truth, not the government's. When a government tells you to go and kill somebody, it's up to you to either kill somebody or not. And if you're willing to follow his truth, you're losing every aspect of what you're truly learning to become spiritual. Spirituality, you can't kill people, period. There's no justification. You can't even get a job in the electric chamber electrocuting somebody. You're still killing that person. So when you take on karma, you get it many ways by doing things that are negative.
Because you knew my husband Tom. You knew my husband Tom, and he killed people, but he didn't want to. He was forced into it because it was kill or be killed. The first time, 2 Russians were after him for the information he had for the government in Germany, so that he killed. He got a piece of wood. He was scared to death. But then after that, he went on to kill other people. But he suffered tremendously afterwards, and he died a young death. But he was a warrior. But go ahead.
But being a warrior doesn't make you spiritual. All the angels, Michael fell down from grace. He was the greatest angel warrior. So it doesn't help being a warrior no matter where you are. The law is you cannot kill. You cannot destroy life. You're not God. So that whole concept is not right when you do it for your own protection. When Jesus was talking about turn your cheek, he meant giving up your life for God. You can't go against
Jesus knew we couldn't do this, so that was supposed to be the good news. He knew we couldn't do that. We couldn't live up to what his Father wanted. But let's go back to the love part of why we even know each other.
Oh, well, let me just finish what Jesus said.
That's very important.
Did say there'll be some people coming out greater than he is. He said that. Nobody else did. And that didn't happen. So, but, okay, let's go back to present time. All right. The Pope himself is denying half of the truth of the Catholic religion now. So religions are falling apart. More people becoming New Age, want to be spiritualists, is for a word for me, the way I would describe it. Saying they're spiritual, thinking they're spiritual, and believing it. And then trying to teach that as well. All right.
Well, that's what we're doing, Tommy. So conclude me and you, because we're here together today, and we've got 20 minutes. So 20 minutes to explain why are we here and what's our message.
All right. Again, I said it in the very beginning. Soul's here for one reason, only one. Not to create a rocket ship, not to create a nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb, proton bomb, or any electron bomb. It wasn't here to do that. The alien races are not at any level close to where we are at a spiritual level of awareness. So when I said we are here for one thing, the only thing is to recognize ourselves as soul, understand it, and then travel within that body, not the physical body. And you don't have to travel in the astral body. There's 4 other bodies you can get into. And that's what you need to work on to get into. And I use the word ascending. You ascend from the physical world to the astral plane. Ascension, in my viewpoint, TJ has a different viewpoint of it. Ascension, only one person I know all through history ever went through it. Not any other being. Ascending means you attain complete awareness of the astral plane, complete awareness of all the 32 psychic abilities, and complete understanding and awareness of God itself. So that's when you ascend, because you have that ability to do it. Until you can go through all those aspects and understand all of them in 100% viewpoint and awareness, can you do that? But everybody dies.
Can we name the 32? Because we have the 33 degrees of the Masons of going up to the architect, or G, they say for geometry, or the creator of the great architect of the entire universe. But
I wrote them down.
Even our country is based on Masons. But do you have all 32 that were found on the planet, or you go back to the Emerald Tablet?
I used
What do you use?
3/4 of them. I used 3/4 of them.
Well, can you share them with all of us? Because you talk about them an awful lot.
No, I don't. But I want to say this.
Did you have all of them in Atlantis, or was it Mu or
No, here.
Was the
when I was a witch. TJ,
what was left after the Lemuria, wasn't it?
TJ, when I was working as a witch, I went through each psychic ability.
Okay, well, write them down for us.
I got a list. Basically, the United States says there's 140 now. But they classify throwing bones on the ground as a psychic ability, reading smoke as an ability, things they added to the basic 32. All right? But basically what I was going to say is they're extremely dangerous at every level. But the one I wanted to attain, which I didn't attain, but there's a lady online saying she could levitate a piece of paper. But I said levitation was the one thing I really wanted to learn to do, which I never did. But see, when you do something like that, if you do something nobody else on this planet can do, and if you go public with that, you suddenly become an idol, a target, a government object. They want you, and all those aspects. Uri Geller, I personally know him, and he had the ability to send a thought wave to kill something. So the FBI and the CIA both wanted him and used him. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the movie Men Who Stare at Goats. All right, that was based on the story of that. So it became a danger. Any psychic ability, and that's why they have remote viewers. That's why they do the testing. Because once you attain a certain level, the government or the army, however you want to word it, can use you as a weapon. And if you become classified as that, then you're a victim to the government, and you become that. Psychic abilities, like I said, when they naturally occur, when you're sitting in your room and you get this image and you say, my mother's in danger, all right, and you call her up and she said she's just going to get on a plane, and then you say, well, please don't get on a plane, or something dramatic, and you realize the plane crashes or something like that. That's a psychic ability, but you're not controlling it. When you're going, you say, I'm not going to get up today. And the first thing you see this big accident, or a fire starts, a building blows up, the factory you worked at blew up. Things like that are psychic abilities, but you don't control them. Soul uses them when it needs it. When you say, I'm going to go to a casino and win every number I'm going to play every number that's going to come out and win $10 billion, that's using it. And that is already an invasion of psychic ability space. And it creates so much karma. If you could read the future for 1 minute, just 1 minute into the future. I mean, deja vu, clairvoyancy, ESP, extraterrestrial, remote viewing is one of them. Astral projection is another, each aspect of that. But what I'm saying, if you go into a casino and you could read every number that's going to happen and play it, you're taking money, all right? And it's becoming an abuse ability. It's for protection. It's not to take away or destroy. When a person can win money, their ego gets inflated and they want more money.